Banks Diesel. In an AQMD assembly possibly a year and a half ago, Banks Diesel. It was once printed that there are a variety of biodiesel producers in the States, and very few of them comply with the standard, Banks said. Banks Diesel. Out of 50 or so, possibly 2 or 3 of them complied. Banks Diesel. Only a few had a gasoline you should matter on being what it ought to be, so that as soon as you'd engineered your engine, you knew this used to be a steady gasoline type. Banks Diesel. Banks Diesel and NBSB. They used to be why we have been amazed to see Audi taking part in a software to show and choice gas developed by way of an enterprise referred to as Rentec. Banks Diesel. Green Car Journal. The use of Audi A3 cars these days drove 1,000 miles on Rentec's trademarked artificial diesel fuel, referred to as Ren Diesel. Banks Diesel. The gas is produced by using a GTL process, which outcomes in greater cetane tiers and very low sulfur, with very low soot levels. Banks Diesel. According to Ron Coggin, editor and publisher of Green Car Journal, over the 1,000-mile journey, the gasoline seemed to be totally well matched with the Audi A3 2.0 liters rapid diesel engine. Banks Diesel. Unlike biodiesel, the Ren Diesel regarded to be appropriate for the engine barring mixing with preferred pump ultra-low sulfur diesel. Banks Diesel and NBSB. Ron Coggin introduced that throughout their 1,000-mile check of Rentec's fuel, there used to be no distinction in power, no hesitation of any kind. There used to be no indication that we have been riding on something different than pump ultra-low sulfur diesel. The A3 used to be now not modified in any way. Banks Diesel. It got here straight out of the press. Take a look at Fleet, Coggin advised us. Banks Diesel. We have been informed the gas is clear, and it doesn't appear or scent like normal diesel, however possibly a bit like paraffin. Banks Diesel. If you spill it, it evaporates a good deal greater rapidly than the number 2 diesel we are used to, besides definitely leaving an oily spot. Banks Diesel and NBSB. During their time out using south from Eureka, California, the Green Car Journal crew tracked mileage and noticed numbers ranging from 39.0 to 43.7 mpg. Banks Diesel. The EPA estimate for the Audi A3 diesel is 42 mpg highway. The Ren Diesel gas gives some fascinating chances for the future and a peculiar contradiction with regard to Audi. Banks Diesel. The organization is constructing a plant in Rialto, California, to produce about 640 barrels per day of renewable artificial fuels, known as Ren Diesel, and about 35 MW of renewable electric-powered energy. Interestingly enough, the feedstock will consist of city inexperienced waste diverted from landfills. Banks Diesel. That is, it will be a structure of biodiesel, based totally on a yard waste-to-fuel concept. Banks Diesel. Though it has a bio-origin, in this case, the gasoline will conform to a STMD 975 spec for ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel, so it will be a biodiesel with no threat of oil dilution or manufacturing consistency. Banks Diesel and NBSB. A gasoline professional at Renfuel explained, you can take any biomass, any carbon source, gasify it, run it via the Fischer-Tropsch process, and then hydroprocess that fabric into diesel and jet fuel. Banks Diesel. You can then additionally take fat and oils, hydroprocess those, and make truly the identical fuels. Banks Diesel. So even though they got here from 2 completely exceptional sources through these exceptional mechanisms, they make the identical paraffinic hydrocarbon products. For all intents and purposes, you can't inform them apart. In different words, due to the fact the Ren Diesel has made the usage of Rentec's GTL process, the supply of the feedstock honestly does now not matter. Banks Diesel. The gasoline is simply like general ULSD, however cleaner and with greater cetane ratings. Banks Diesel and NBSB. The emissions produced via combustion of Ren Diesel are decrease in particulate count number, nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, and carbon dioxide, in contrast to petroleum-based fuels. Banks Diesel. In addition, Ren Diesel produces fewer emissions of risky natural compounds than ethanol or usual easy diesel and has the manageable to be twice as fuel efficient as auto strolling on ethanol. Additives are used to carry the gasoline up to a STM spec for traits like lubricity. Audi knew the A3 would tolerate the GTL gasoline well, due to the fact they run their R15 race auto on something very similar. We won't see Ren Diesel on the market immediately. Most of the manufacturing will go to fleets, but the organization has indicated it will make some of the gasoline reachable to Gale Banks Engineering for trying out and racing purposes. It sounds like we want to get our gasoline in the Banks race cars, stated Hunt Ramsbottom, CEO and director of Rentec. Banks agreed. I've been variety of dragging my FT checking out alternate gasoline.